We talk about the real journey just like this, to be in your house, because everybody has a story to tell. In the same way we told Dr. Matthew Knowles, shout out to him and any other guest that's come through. You know what? Yes, you're Beyonce's dad, but at the end of the day, who are you as the person, the man that stood up, that had to go through that. And that's the stories we got to tell, because most of the times, brothers like us ain't getting that out. So that's why it's so important for me and my cousin to be doing what we doing right now, bro.
Factual.
This is fucking monumental.
Yeah. Facts.
This is monumental.
So all y'all cousins.
You want to know the real story? So we're gonna let's tell the real story.
Let's
the real deal. So let's talk about it. So this is my blood cousin, but this is not my blood cousin. Nothing could make us not more blood than anything.
Dig it.
So when my uncle passed away, my uncle passed away, bro.
So it has to start with me before it gets to you.
Yes, that's my side. That's my side of the story. So I'm gonna cut in with you. Yeah. Let me cut in with you. Go ahead.
So it starts with me. So I'm older than him.
Yeah. That's big,
and I
bro.
told
What's
you
your age?
I'm 45.
I'm 36.
Right.
Correct.
So I'm a generation in front of him. So when I'm coming up, I just told you my father wasn't around. So in my neighborhood, it's the Lions Den. It is No, I'm telling you. And let me connect it to you. You got Lions order. Big I feel like I was raised in the Lions Den, and I'm a fucking Leo. You can't make that up. I'm a fucking Leo. I'm a lion. That's what I am, right?
You better get this nigga a shirt. You better get this nigga a shirt. If you don't, get him a message.
So, long story.
Message.
I've always been intelligent, but because I didn't have that fundamental foundation, because my mother couldn't teach me how to be a man, you know what I did? I followed other men in the streets. And all the men that I followed was gangsters. All the men that I followed was doing ignorant, stupid, violent shit.
Guess what?
Right?
Listen, I want to make sure I commend you, because I just want to tell you this. You and I had similar life path.
Right.
And I just want to show you our perspective, your perspective. And when you say that, right, I told you I'm the same.
Right.
But what happened to me was this, right? Because like you said, my father is Bob Marley, right?
Right.
But what happened? I just want to interject. I'm just interjecting because it means a lot.
Yeah.
That's all.
Because I was saying to you, I was like, wow. After the things I started to dream about being, I was like, wow, wait a minute. Wait, if all these people love my father, right? And I am his son, who am I?
Come on.
That's
the real. That's the real.
I'm like, what?
That's the motherfucking real.
If he can make people I'm saying to myself, if all these people that are hearing them, oh, good and the 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 good, about that part, right? And what my father is doing for their lives. And I'm like, wow, as a son, you mean to tell me I can't be higher than them in regards to what I receive from my father? So you talk about that, right?
Right.
So that's what happened to me, because I was going down that path.
Yep.
But I was like, wait a minute, no, because like I said, my daddy passed when I was 9 years old.
Right.
8, 9. You know what I mean? That's so going down that same gangster path. I'm that guy.
Right.
I am that guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow. If they love my father so much, what about me?
Yeah, that's a real question.
So continue.
Yeah,
I just wanted to say,
that's real.
No, it's real.
No, that's real. Because we just want to tell you
factual, no cons here, no continue, no conversation, none of that shit. We do agreements and we just keep the reasoning going. So we reason. We don't have conversation. We have a reasoning.
Yeah.
Because every conversation there's a lie. But within reasoning, there's truth.
Okay. Message. Come back to that now. So I'm just, like I said, I didn't have that. So what I grew up with is my mother. My mother also, because her father was in the streets and blah, blah, blah. You understand?
Sure.
My whole family was living this lifestyle, right?
Yeah,
and I'm telling you, listen to me. I'm telling you, I started getting kicked out of schools, like you said, in the 4th grade. No, Rohan, like, you understand? Like, I'm
the Bronx, bro.
You understand? Rohan, like, I'm just telling you what it is, but I'm just telling you what it is.
We got to
working life is
throughout. Story different.
I'm telling you, right?
Different, bro.
Throughout my journey, my mother was dating different guys, right?
Sure.
So again, I don't have a father figure.
Sure.
So my mother starts to date his uncle because they live down the block from us. Their family lives down the block from us. And my mother and them were already close. And my mother starts to date his uncle.
Yeah.
So his uncle now doesn't have to, right?
Yeah.
His uncle now,
my father's brother.
his father's brother. His uncle now,
Rest in peace,
which
Butch.
is funny
Love you.
because his uncle, we call him Butch, and my uncle, my mother's brother, name is Butch.
And
So they
both
would go,
and both our mamas are named Renee.
and both our mother's name is Renee. That's what I'm saying. You can't make this shit out.
And
right?
we had our mamas on the shit.
That's a fact. So
that's how gangster we keep it.
So long story short, his uncle, he could have dated my mom and had nothing to do with me.
Real
See,
shit.
nothing to do with me. But he took the time to see where I was going and interject. Not by force, right? Not with the switch, but by the conversation. Like mother Mama Anita,
by the reasoning,
Mama Rita, right?
Reasoning.
Like that, the reason, right?
Yeah.
Reasoning.
There it is.
Reasoning. Because with reasoning, we develop overstanding.
There it is.
There you go.
And so what he did was he sat me down, and in that time, I felt like nobody was paying attention to who I was. Or like you said, who am I? What do I want? What do I need? Right? And he was the first person to give me that. And when he did, then he started to outline, well, listen, if we want to do this, we got to concentrate on this. If you want to do that, we got to concentrate on this. But in order to do that, we got to stop doing this.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So
that's the type he was.
So
get him out of Jamaica, move him to Miami.
Right.
Why you think we doing this? Why you think we us three working together now?
Yeah.
And because we have we have things to share.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. So long story short, again, adults being adults, I can't tell you the ins and outs of an adult relationship, right? I always liked him. I thought him and my mom would be the best, but adults do adult things. So they end up, but they dated for years. Yeah. This is years. This is not like a quick thing. This is years. But eventually, you understand what I'm saying, they broke up or whatever the case may be, and we still stayed in contact. See, that was another thing. So even though he wasn't dealing with my mom directly, he never broke the relationship with me.
You're real. That's real.
Now here's the compound. Right. Now here's the compound to it. Here's the compound to it. Now there's a community center. There's a community center in our neighborhood. This is where all the children go after school, do their homework, right? The resources for the community. So I'm in there going, look, Rohan, Tasmanian devil, crazy. Throwing chairs. I'm throwing fucking chairs. I'm fighting every day. Look, Rohan, let me paint the picture. Rohan, let me paint the picture for you.
Come on.
For almost my whole life, I was little. I'm talking like 4 feet, nothing. When I went to high school, I was only 5'1", 89 pounds. Like I've always been a little guy. So I was like the Tasmanian fucking devil. So I'm just throwing shit. I'm getting kicked out everywhere. His cousins now that are a little older than me, which I didn't even know that was his nephews.
But we all on the same whole project.
They were the counselors, and they snatched me up like, yo, what are you doing? So whenever I used to go there, nobody else wanted to deal with me. None of the counselors, nobody. As soon as I walk in, no, he's not going on the trip. No. And they would say, give him to me. And I would go hang with them.
That's
see?
Me and Uncle Rich and Uncle Anthony.
See?
They were the two uncles that were gonna put me in my place.
There it is.
Keep going,
right? So once I started to develop the relationship with them, then I realized that they are his uncle's nephews.
Right.
You understand? Like, and they're all family.
So we bond.
So now I'm just like a part of the family. I'm with them all the time, even though my uncle, his uncle's not dating my mom. I'm with them all the time now. And these are the people now I'm looking up to, like, oh, you're a pop. Then I met his father. You understand?
Let me
like
get that.
Now you can jump in. Right.
My uncle passed away.
Right.
Uncle Butch, right? So yes, he's been around the family, but I'm young. That's big cuz.
Right.
I got my own shit going, like, you know what I'm saying? But when he passed away, the way we connected, bro.
At the repast.
At the repast, bro. We just connected.
And what's the repast?
Like a funeral. Like, we go to eat his chicken and all that shit.
After the funeral.
It's a celebration of life after the funeral.
Surely.
Mm-hmm. So we just parley, we just talking, man. I'm just going through the motions in life, bro. I'm just like, fuck it, man. I'm still working. I'm trying to make it happen. Just have my boy. I'm trying to rap. I'm trying to do a bunch of shit. Cuz I'm like, yo, let's just go somewhere. We ended up going to Cancun. I put it all on Cancun. Showed me how we live. We living in presidentials. It gave the vision. So guess what? I went to corporate America, did some shit. Me and my cousin, he's been corporate America 6 figures. I'm corporate America 6 figures. We said we're gonna do it. We got to a certain level. We started the podcast, and we wanted to do this because we know we real as fuck. We real as fuck. So how do we not put this on content? Because me and Cuz will do this anyway. We gonna bug the fuck out and keep it real anyway. So why not do it with Rohan? Why not do it with people who are real and really talk that shit? Because our community need to see this shit.
You heard it here first.
Come on, man. We here. It's more than the title.
You heard it here first.